Brussels Brexit negotiators have become enraged by the UK's attempts to strike a reasonable trade agreement, making a no-deal departure even more likely, a Eurosceptic former MEP has warned. Daniel Hannan said EU negotiators wanted Britain to be subservient rather than reasonable and were only ever interested in holding on to some sort of power over a breakaway UK. He said such an attitude had become clearer during the latest round of trade negotiations, which appear to be heading for deadlock. Writing in the Daily Telegraph, he said, "They don't want Britain to be reasonable, they want it to be subservient. Throughout the process, their objective has been not to maximise the prosperity of their citizens but to retain a measure of suzerainty over a breakaway province." Given what we now see of their attitude, perhaps a deal was never on the cards. The Tory former MEP for the South East made his comments after a senior EU figure told Britain it had to be more realistic. France's former Europe Minister MEP Nathalie Louisseau said it was possible that the UK and EU would reach a deal but that much progress has to be made in the negotiation. The latest round of negotiations, which ended on Friday, failed to break the deadlock but talks are set to continue. Chief negotiator Michel Barnier said there had been no significant areas of progress. His UK counterpart, David Frost, said they would have to intensify and accelerate the process if there was to be any chance of an agreement. Ms. Louisseau said, "For the time being, the UK negotiator is asking, for instance, for freedom of movement for service providers coming from the UK. We have never provided it to any of our trade partners. He is asking for reciprocity in terms of professional qualifications. This is something that we provide only to member states. So the UK side has to become more realistic." A major sticking point remains the so-called level playing field, which is aimed at preventing the UK from undercutting EU standards on issues including workers' rights, environmental protection and state subsidies. Ms. Louisseau said, "We believe on both sides of the channel in high standards, so why don't we keep them?"